Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Sister Trinette for sharing this story with me. What I'm going to do, I want you all to take a look at this video of this very cute little black girl at Chuck E. Cheese and how she was treated very boldly and blatantly, and then I will be right back.
Hey, go by. Get in front of them, hey. Yamaha, hey. Saw that, right? Look, right here. You don't see him? Oh, he don't. Wait. You don't see her? Yeah, you want to give her?
Okay, as you've seen in the video, this little girl was completely ignored. Completely and totally. This cute little black girl. And I'm going to talk about a few things in this. I'm not just going to deal with the fact that she was treated this way, very boldly and openly and bluntly. Okay? I'm also going to talk about the fact that the father was literally almost begging this person who clearly didn't want to hug his daughter to hug her. He's literally there begging, trying to get attention to his daughter. Now, I understand from a father's perspective, you're like, okay, don't do this to my baby. Not in front of me like this. Don't do this to my baby. But that was a teachable moment right there. Now, I know she's young, but from a very early age, as you see, the discrimination starts that early. So we've got to teach them that early what to expect from these people who are reprobate. We don't need to leave our children out in the dark in terms of that. And so I don't really want to focus so much on the man in the rat suit or the woman in the rat suit, whatever it is that's in there. I don't want to focus so much on that, but I want to focus more on how we deal with these issues. Okay. First of all, you know, I'm going to share an experience that we had at Chuck E. Cheese when our son, Elia, was turning 1 year old. Okay. He was turning either 1 or 2. I'm not exactly sure what age he was turning. All I know is he was very, very young. Okay. He was still very young. And this happened a long time ago. Okay. So anyway, we took our son to Chuck E. Cheese. He was turning either 1 or 2, still very young. And he started screaming when the big rat came out. I mean, he was screaming his head off. And so we were like, it's okay, man, it's okay. You know, get him and all that. And so this white man comes up to us and tells us, why are you allowing your son to be traumatized like this? Now, we were Christians back then. So we just, you know, we didn't really get into anything back then. We were just like, huh? He's saying, why are we allowing our child to be traumatized like this? And now in retrospect, someone's at my door, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Wow, that's kind of funny. I had 5 people. I told them I was coming in here to record too, y'all. I guess when you're a mommy, that's just how it is. I mean, you could get 4 or 5 people knocking on the door, 4 or 5 people calling you. And sometimes you just got to answer the door. You know, some of y'all say I shouldn't cut these parts out. Sometimes I do. It depends on what I'm talking about. But my husband had a question, and the kids wanted some gloves. And so, you know, I guess it doesn't matter to close the door or whatever. They're like, hey, mommy, we need you. So you're going to have to just hold up on what you're doing for a minute. You know, wife, I need you. Got a question. All right. Anyway, back to it, family. I'll see if I'm going to cut this out or not. But anyway, we were talking about my son Elia and how this man is talking to us about allowing our child to be traumatized at Chuck E. Cheese, which is a public business that thousands, if not millions of children attend for years. I don't know how long they've been in business, but look, for us, we took our kid there 20-something years ago. And so that shows you that there have been millions of children that have probably gone through that establishment. And so he's telling us, he's not telling the rat that he's traumatizing our kid, but telling us that we are allowing our kid to be traumatized. As if we didn't go over there to console our son at the time after he was frightened by this big rat. I'm pretty sure other kids have had that response too. But what I find interesting is how we were to blame, even though we consoled our son. We didn't know he was going to respond like that. But they want to shift the blame and say that you're allowing your child to be traumatized by Chuck E. Cheese at a public business with many other children in the building too, right? That's amazing to me. And to me, trauma is when your people are brought over on slave ships and treated like trash or treated less than trash. That's traumatizing, right? But let me get back to this story. This child, I'm looking at this poor baby. I wish I could pick her up and hug her. And I'm saying to myself, okay, Dad, don't set this example for your child right now. I understand how you feel. Emotions are high at this moment. The camera's rolling, and this person in the rat suit is snubbing your baby. And so as a dad, you're like, oh, you go into protection mode. But I think we need to learn how to protect. Because we are living in this type of society, a very sensitive racial society where people are telling us, literally, I mean, look at this video. Look, I don't like you people. I don't want to hug your daughter. I don't want her touching me, and I'm not going to even pay attention to you. I mean, if that's pretty much what he said, right? Maybe we should hit rewind and see if we are all getting the same thing here, because that's what without saying a word, that is what his body language said. That I don't want to hug your daughter, and I'm going to completely ignore her while hugging all of these other children. Now, I don't know if you all noticed, but one of the children, one of the little girls, looked like she was mixed race. So what does that tell you? Many of them will be accepted, but if you chocolate brown, you can forget it. It is what it is, family. It is what it is. And so as a father, I know he's going to sit that child down and have a talk with her at some point, I hope. Don't let this thing just get brushed off and just, oh my goodness. This poor baby. How could someone do that to a child? Oh, I know how. When you're cold and heartless, you can do that very easily. But guess what? Chuck E. Cheese is going to have to deal with this now. They just might be in for a lawsuit because you don't treat a child like that. If you can't handle the job, if you don't want to deal with the children of all races that come into that establishment, then you don't need to work there. But since you did this, you may have just opened up a can of worms for Chuck E. Cheese. And I hope this family does pursue this because that was wrong. Okay, but my message is more so to our people that we've got to stop begging these people to acknowledge us. Stop begging these people to pay attention to us. Stop begging these people to love us because they don't. I wouldn't even want that big rat touching my child after that. Once it became clear that he was ignoring this baby, oh, that would have been it right there. No more begging and groveling, okay? I would have been, okay, you know what? I'm going to management. We're going to deal with this on that level now. And after that, since I have this on video, this is going viral, rat, okay? Since the big rat at Chuck E. Cheese wants to discriminate and hurt the feelings of little black babies, okay, now, Chuck E. Cheese, you're going to have to deal with the hurt feelings of my baby. Okay, but at the end of the day, we need to stop trying to mix and mingle with people who've told us time and time again that they can't stand us. It is time for us to come out from among them and be ye separate. That's what the Bible says, right? Who was it talking to when it said that? It was talking to somebody. It says, come ye out from among them and be ye separate. These other nations who don't like us. Okay, now, many of you will argue against that. I have extended reasoning that I have for this that I'm not getting into on this channel. We have a ministry channel that breaks down the reasons okay? And we're not talking about those who are kind and polite to us, okay? But as a general rule, when people have shown you who they are, you're supposed to believe them and stop trying to get something different out of them. And with that, I will say, Shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.